Hi, I'm Julia, and welcome to the Writer's Room with Scout and Bruno. Today finally I've got that third part to Down East story that I've been writing. It's called Wabanaki, the People of the Dawn. That's the translation for what the Wabanaki means, which were indigenous people to the Down East area. Got it. Just to catch you up, the first one I wrote it started off with Bethany Ellis and her dog Scout, who have moved to Millbridge, Maine. They have a little cottage there. She bought a little cottage, and she's just finding out some of the characters and folklore, as it may be, in Millbridge, and she's had some interesting things happen to her and around her at her house, one being an ominous fog, a screeching noise, and a neighbor that she meets, Mr. Crowley, an elderly man who believes that there is something that is tormenting the little cottages that live on the shore, and he entrapped himself in one of his snares he set to catch the thing. He calls it a shipyard fool, but only thing he caught was himself in it, and Bethany Ellis meets him and then helps him untangle himself from it. But this is the third part to that, where Bethany has decided to go for a morning walk in the cove. They're not really beaches up there. I mean, they're beaches, but they're more like coves, where there's boats and buoys and and old shipyards. Once that were shipyards where they were built, ships were built. We decided to set up this set like this today. My husband did this glorious set with candles because we're getting closer to Halloween, and I want to be a little more creepy in my writing, a little more scary. I write this in a first-person narrative. You will notice as I write it's lots of streams of consciousness, like Faulkner likes to write. I am definitely a big fan of his. So here it goes. Orange light bounces on the ocean waves, shooting shadows into my eyes as the sun rises over peak foam waves this morning. I step lightly between piles of kelp and crusty cut buoys, and I am looking for black stones this morning, all smooth and sleek as dark in a starless night. Scout is with me. She loves this time when I set her free from the confines of our yard and the duty she upholds, guarding our cottage. Scout is running up and down the cove with a severed red and white buoy in her jaws, smitten with herself in the joys of being free. I give her less than 5 minutes before she finds the remnants of a dead sea creature, and then which she will creatively bow down and roll her nice white fur through it. This will be the highlight of her day, to give herself a dip into the odor of fish and sea. As I'm walking along the shoreline, I spot a reflecting white sparkle just ahead of Scout frolicking with her buoy. I'm drawn to it like a moth to a flame. The closer I get, the brighter it becomes. How strange. Looking down, I see it's a perfectly formed oval rock that is of the clearest white. Bending down to pick it up, my fingers brush the smooth surface that feels like sealskin. I hear a loud howl, and I look to where Scout should be, and she is gone. So are the piles of kelp and all the old buoys. The cove is bare with only rocks and a low tide now. I yell for Scout, calling her over and over again. I feel confused and displaced. Displaced where? And why am I dreaming? A sound of what could only be described as a battle cry snaps my head up. I see out onto the water 2 primitive canoe-like boats, with 2 Native American men in each boat. What is happening? I say to myself. And where is Scout? I call for her again. Nothing. I see nothing but the beach I barely recognize. This can't be the place. It can't be the same place. The canoes are coming closer now. I hear these men shouting in a language that is undiscernible and angry. The closer they get, I see they are clothed in animal skins and colorful cloths. I tell myself, Bethany, run! My feet don't move. My legs are planted firm. My mind scrambles to understand what is happening to me. I'm not dreaming. I am here, and I am afraid. The 4 men jump from their canoe. The tide is out, and their canoes are perched in the flat of mud. They're coming at me with bodies embraced as if to fight, with a language that spills from their mouth, angry and wild. I cannot move my legs. I crouch down, bending my knees. I see in front of me that beautiful white stone glowing like a pearl at my feet. The men are so close now and coming closer by the second. I reach down and grab the stone, clutch it tight. I feel a pulse rip through my hand, up my arm, then boom! I am spinning in my head, all is black with edges of white. I see stars zoom past me. I become still and peaceful. I watch the stars go by my face, my eyes, my hands, in a slow, dazzling light show. I hear Scout barking, far away as if she is in a space that is not here. I don't see her amongst the stars here. There is a loud crack as if lightning is here too. I close my eyes and all is quiet now. Too quiet. Wake up, wake up! I hear from a faraway voice from this nothingness. I begin to feel my feet, my arms, my hands, my head. I feel a wetness that is soft and warm over my cheek. I open my eyes and see it is Scout licking my face, and Tom, my handyman, is here shaking me. Are you okay? He says. What? Why am I on the ground? You got a damn good egg on your head. Spot of blood, too. Uh-huh. I don't know what happened to me. I was picking up rocks, and I found this. Looking at my clutched hand, I open it to watch sand slip through my fingers. Where is it? I look around. There are no men with canoes, but piles of kelp and disregarded buoys are as they were before. The tide is up now, nearly wetting my boots. Tom says, I think you had hit your head pretty hard there. Tom, there was an Indian man running at me just over there. I point to the rolling surf breaking on some rocks. Tom replies, I think you had a Wabanaki dream there, Miss Ellis. Let's get you home. There's a fog about to roll in. Scout, you coming? The end for now. Just a little fun. That was a great fun to write, actually. I have been working on so many different things lately, writing, that and with so many irons in the fire, that each iron is a different story or a poem or a screenplay too, that sometimes I get caught up. I've got too many of them going at once. Sometimes if I feel that if it's not fun, then I just don't want to do it because it's too much like work. But I'm starting to get a lot of fantastic feedback, and from my friends, my family, from the platforms I have here on YouTube and Instagram. I hope that you will continue watching me, and I'm thinking next week I'm going to let this rest for a while and come up with a 4th part and probably the final part. It's like, what is this entity? Why do these things keep happening to Bethany Ellis in Millbridge, Maine? That'll be up and coming. But next week I have for you a ghost story that my mother has been giving me information about. She's really an incredible writer herself. But I'm going to put that together for you. It happened during the 1960s in New England, and I think it's one you're really going to enjoy. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Any questions, just send them our way, and we'd be happy to answer them. With that, I'd like to wish you to think good thoughts, and to say good words, and to do good deeds.